Alright everyone, Holden here reporting for the festival. So today we are back at Forza Horizon 4 and well this is still on spring, so that's why it's a bit of there is some puddle here and there. But that doesn't really matter because well the more important thing, I finally get the chance to get this car. This right here is another Holden special vehicle, GTS-R. Yes, it is another GTS-R, but this one is from the 90s. And well, I forgot the exact year right now, so oops. It is, well, your typical 90s car in terms of looks, until you get to see the rear wing, which I will show you right after this. So right now, this car right here is just parked in the middle of the night, and I have to find light source because the nearest race is just right there. On, well, if you're seeing from the camera, it's top left corner, somewhere around there. Yeah, it is what it is. And well, today's livery that I'm using would be made by HiddenMissile, and it features Wiz from KonoSuba. And yes, of course it's him because well, HiddenMissile is a big fan of KonoSuba, and I'm grateful because he make all the livery for that. I mean, from Megumin, Aqua, La Latina, Our Darkness, and of course Wiz. Wiz is a leech, by the way. You should watch KonoSuba if you haven't, because it's a comedy, it's very fun. So, right, let's have a look around because I want to show the livery, obviously, and obviously, as you can see already, this is Wiz. She's a pretty innocent girl, but and then you realize she's not exactly a living being. Yes, that's right. She's a leech, as I mentioned earlier, so basically she's an undead that can use magic. Which is, well, that's a pretty bad news, isn't it? If you think about it, huh? But then again, she's an innocent one, so we'll be fine, I guess. We're not going to die anytime soon. I think. Anyway, oh, it started raining too. Perfect. Now she's wet. So, right, she looks really nice. I mean, HiddenMissile make it looks very good. I'm not going to lie. He's been improving the artwork on his livery. That's why every time there is a KonoSuba livery, I always download it because he makes some good one. And of course, your typical tuner style. You'll have some sponsor. Well, basically a free marketing for the party here, basically, and the car itself. From Anke, Brightwater, and stuff like that. This is an actual sponsor, unlike some others that I featured. Sometimes that actually sponsors a fictional one. And yes, you can paint that particular place apparently, which is interesting. I didn't know that. And there is arc and stuff. Let's go with this side. This side seems to be more visible, I think. Right, again, HM, just like on the last car from last week that I featured, it has HM as a sponsor. Speedmaster, Wonder again. Yeah, it's pretty neatly placed. I really love it. I don't know about Wisteria though. Might be, and one thing that's make it stand out more than the other livery that actually use an Itasha as well, when I'm looking at it, is that the placement for this logo right here, the GTS-R. Now, if you try to paint it, you know this part is unpaintable. You cannot remove it. You cannot stick something onto it. It's basically right there. You cannot replace it. But HiddenMissile make it works really well. That integrate into his design. I really love it. And of course we have Tamiya, because Tamiya is actually making car replica as well. I forgot what it's called, but it is what it is. That is bright as well for maybe for the racing seat. And now, as I mentioned earlier, if you look at the back, this wing right here is crazy, and it looks really tacky actually, because as you can see, this car doesn't have a third brake light. And so they decided, you know what, we're going to add a wing, right? So might as well put the third brake light on that as well. And there it is. It's right there. Really outside. Usually if it's an integrated one on a sedan like this on 90s, it should be on the inside of the car most of the time. But this is outside. Like, oh shit, we forgot to put a third brake light. I think the US market really wants it too, you know. So they actually did that. And now of course the GTS-R logo is still there, just like last logo on the sides. And of course we have it's actually the newer one logo now, which on this one, which is Holden special vehicle, including the Holden logo on there, as you can see. And that is this right here. I think this is, well, kind of like your car series number. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe it's the engine displacement. I'm not sure about that, to be honest, because it's 215i. And of course the other side is so much better, because I feel like he actually worked on this side first before the right side, because the logo is much better on this side than the other side. And well, on top it's just, well, plain, aside from that sponsorship. I don't know how to rate that, but yeah, that's Wiz. Alright, let's jump into a race. It's pretty close. Of course I get disconnected, but I kinda care actually this time around. So alright, we're going to head out and try to race it. Yep. Which is right over here. I tuned it up to A class, so it has a good enough amount of power, to be honest. But I tuned it more on the handling side, almost, because okay, I cannot go into a race when Horizon live session found. Interesting enough. Yeah, sure. Can I just race? No, it doesn't allow me to do that. Yes. But yeah, we're going to go on the Glen Reynolds Hillside Sprint, and well, it's this car categorized as retro muscle, so it's kind of unfortunate because one of the other car that you're going to fight here is actually a Dodge Viper. Yes, that's kind of not exactly a muscle, to be honest, but I guess we should work with that. And yes, this is 1996 HSV GTS-R. So right, it's a retro muscle, and since I upgraded to A class, it's originally on C class if I remember correctly. It's either C or D. I think it's C though. This car right here has 308 kilowatts with 459 Newton meter of torque, and it weighs 1,390 kilograms, so it's almost 1,400, which is not the lightest, but it's not the heaviest either in my opinion. The front has 55%, and the engine displacement is not maxed out, so it's just under 6 liter. So the kind of car that you're going to fight when you're driving this would be a Buick, the real GNX, some Chevrolet from Corvette and Impala, a Dodge Viper, as I mentioned earlier, the Ford SVT Cobra, and Crown Vic. And of course from the Holden itself, the Commodore Group A. And lastly, you're going to fight a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am GTA, something like that. But yeah, basically any other retro muscle car will be on the same category as this car. So do I like it? Well, let me just show you, because this car is kind of nice actually. It's a 4-door muscle. Yeah, I'm a sucker for 4-door sedan. They look really sporty and nice, you know, and quite practical. So yeah, I already set it up on unbeatable, so no need to change that. And well, Let's see how it performs. Alright, launching it, well, it's pretty standard. And I went with the longer gearing this time. So it could go to 290, but most of the time you'll just go up to 280 km/h. So not the fastest. But it's not slow either. It's just slow on the acceleration side. Okay, I need to make sure my brake is a bit... I need to give more pressure on the brakes actually. Yeah, because this car is quite heavy, and I must not hesitate on the brakes, and because I forgot to tune the braking, it will be quite difficult now. It's not that difficult, to be honest. I can just get used to it. And basically just try to push it a bit deeper than usual. And the car is not that bad. I mean, this is with the default differential setup, which is 75% by Forza, which is, well, it's fine, to be honest, for me. It's just that you gotta be extra careful with the throttle, and it's somewhat understeery in a way, but not that it caught me off guard most of the time. Well, this exception time would be when I'm overconfident with my driving. It's basically just my fault at that point. It understeer wide and it causes a lot of problem. Like that. That one is not bad though. And sometimes, I don't know why, this car could suddenly get a grip. I'm kinda worried about that because it will throw me off from time to time with sudden grip that I have. And it's actually one of the biggest cause of crash in motorsport. Either you lose a lot of grip all of a sudden, or you get a sudden amount of grip that to the point the car just shifts towards a certain direction, and it's really dangerous actually. And yes, that was, I'm kind of pushing it because that guy right there is so close yet so far. So I really want to get close as much as possible, but it's kind of impossible to do it with how this car set up and how it behaves as well. But well, it's still gonna keep up. It just needs more straight line, even though too much straight line will cause a lot of problem. So right, for the first race we are going to get second place, which is not bad at all, and there is Wiz. She's really cute, to be honest. 1 second, 1.6. Oh my god, that's quite far actually. I mean, it doesn't look far from people's perspective if you just look at the time, but if you look at the distance, that's pretty far. But actually it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Actually, I'm kind of feel comfortable, but I still need to be careful unless I want a huge crash. So not bad at all. It's just kind of funny, to be honest. Alright, on to the next one then. Okay, our next race will be on Princess Street Garden Circuit. Probably one of the biggest weak points for this car, because this place is handling based, and the way I set it up, it's mostly for high speed races. So not like a drag race and stuff. But even then, it's still kinda took a lot of time to get up to speed, because as you can see, the gearing is really long. Yes, it can go up to 293.9, sure, but as you have seen on the previous race, it's not the fastest, right? So, you know, just got to deal with it. Not to mention, this is a wet track, so it's a bit difficult to drive a rear-wheel drive car on this condition, to be honest. Yep, it's slithering around like snakes there. Oh, I still get that checkpoint, okay. I was expecting not to get it, but I get it. If not, that will be a huge blow for this car. Alright, I'm trying to not to, you know, make a dirty overtake here and there as much as possible. Okay, that's a Buick Regal Gen X work on our front there. And that car has a better acceleration compared to me. Yeah, on acceleration side, this car is really weak. At least the way I set it up. I'll do a cut back there. Nice. And now I'm trying to defend myself. Now all I have to do is defend my position, which is easier said than done most of the time. But that's not too bad actually. And yes, just take as wide line as possible if it's legal. Because in actual race, that's not allowed because that's over the curb. Obviously. Oh, that's a nice line actually. Okay, it's slithering around. Yeah, I should stay on the gear. Oh god, that curve throws my car out of the line. It throws me wide. That's kind of scary actually. That curve always caught me off guard. There's a reason why I rarely race around here. Okay, that is a really terrible line for me. But it's still manageable. Oh, okay, that's an improvement actually. Interesting. 58, almost sub 58, 58.026. Oh wow, that is really quick compared to the other muscle. But then again, this is me driving. Well, I'm not the best, but I'm not the slowest either, you know. Especially since this rear wheel drive is my specialty at this point. So that's not bad actually. I'm kinda happy with that result. Especially since this is a wet track. So it's kinda hard to control the car actually. So the car just want to slide all over the place. I could probably get a better time if the track is dry. But, you know, it is what it is. Alright then, on to the next race, shall we? For our final race, we're on to Greendale Super Sprint. This is where I usually test the high speed of the car. Well, it's not the best one because if I want to test the high speed, I will just go to the drag race on the highway and just do a drag race on there. But, well, in terms of racing, most of the time you'll see a lot of corner from time to time, or at least a few corner, like left, like the American does on NASCAR, just left. So, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, we'll see the top speed that it's capable of for this track, and hopefully it's around 280 at least, just so I can prove my work there. Oops, bit of a bump, which is fine. That's still legal unless you're playing Gran Turismo Sport. That will be very illegal, and you'll get 10 seconds. Yes, I know, it's stupid. Alright, there's an SVT Cobra wreck on my front. I'm going to go to the inside, brake a bit later. Oh yeah, I see that it doesn't want to give me space there. Alright, the longer giving actually somewhat helped against the slower car. Okay, not the cleanest there. It's fine. Yeah, corner is my strong point most of the time. Not the best, but it's actually one of my strongest point in terms of racing. So yeah, my weakest point is actually the high speed section most of the time. It's just yeah, I'm kinda hesitant from time to time to take something on high speed. Alright, we're on the highway. The vet is smack on our front. That's the C6, I think. Alright, 250. 260. 270? No. Oh, it doesn't get to 280. It's just 265 before we have to turn a lot to make sure we don't crash. Which is fine. I keep on turning actually. Yeah, a bit risky, but okay, we're not out of power actually with third gear, so we can keep third gear actually. Oh, I slipped there. The car just want to drift on that one. But we're still good, we're still making up some time. And there we go. Whew. I tell you what, that is really good result. Considering I almost messed it up again. I mean, it's my usual stuff. So yeah, that's the O2 Corvette, so I think that's the C6 Corvette. That car is pretty good to be honest, not gonna lie. I do want a Corvette because they looks really nice, you know, and they have V8 too. And of course, well, obviously this car has a V8, but this car more of a, you know, the grocery getup of the muscle car, I guess. Not really. But yeah, there you have it, the Holden Special Vehicle GTS-R. It is such a nice car. And I do want one, to be honest. I don't know where to buy it though. I mean, well, it's just right there on Australia, but even though our country isn't that far, it's still far, and it's basically shipping a car, and you know, shipping a huge thing like that is kinda expensive. Not to mention I still cannot buy a car anyway, so maybe I'll buy it when I'm more successful. I don't know. But by the way, this is a stock engine. It sounds pretty nice actually. But yeah, the car handling is pretty nice. I love it. It's right where I want it for a longer gearing car, and you know, it's such a nice handling car actually. Surprisingly speaking, because usually most of people will generalize muscle car cannot deter. They should drive like a boat and stuff like that, but no. It's actually proven by the Charger as well. The Charger is actually pretty nice handling too. So this car has my seal of approval. I never really said that before, but this car has my seal of approval. Okay, don't just understeer now. But I love this car. Alright everyone, Shukufuku here, reporting for the end of the world. I mean, the video. Hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you like it, feel free to activate that like button. If you want to see more of my content, you can put a mark on my head with that subscribe button. And lastly, any kind of support and feedback would be really appreciated. So, thanks for watching, and remember, I'm keeping my eyes on you. Keep on living, buddy.